Anishinaabe name, although I have not learned to say it yet in my language because it's been lost in transition. So let's just say I'm Nigani Gabawik, first in line standing or leader standing. I have so much to say, but I think that I'll start with giving you the reasons why I know a little bit more about Line 3. Myself and a friend went to Palisade to ask for help on the Upper Harbor Terminal that's happening in Minneapolis, a proposed private development that is right on the Mississippi River. So we went to Palisade to ask for prayers and some guidance. And my friend ended up coming back to the Twin Cities and I ended up staying. And since then, I've been in Palisade, I've been in White Earth, Park Rapids, Bagley, Minnesota. I've dealt with 3 different sheriff's departments. I pray for love and openness in the hearts and the minds of those who don't understand how serious and how dire this is. We have things in the Twin Cities here and all across the world that we deal with as far as the addictions, foster care systems, judicial systems. And so it's very understandable why some may not understand the importance of stopping Line 3. But if you were able to go and travel to see how Mother Earth is being destroyed, digged up, you could feel it. You could feel it in your heart. If you're able to go, please do so. There's many spots. They're creeping in all over the place. I'm an enrolled member of White Earth Nation. My father was born and raised at Sandy Lake. And so I have ties, to up there as well as the Twin Cities. So if anybody could, just take a trip, please do so. Please research, do your research. This is for all of us. Indigenous. I'm half Irish. It's for all of us. Please understand who we all are. I think that there's a lot of fear. I would like to speak to the pipeline workers. The tension and the energies that you bring, pipeline workers, is very destructive and very hateful. I think you have a lot of fear inside of you. Fear of what? Fear of having what has been taken from you. We have a lot of healing. As I've learned, we're all treaty people. So please learn about that, and if somebody could speak more about that, that would be a great thing. So thank you very much for being here. It's about unity and coming together for everybody. So thank you. Chi Miigwech. Chi Miigwech.
Stop Line 3! Stop Line 3! Stop Line 3! Black Snake Killer! Black Snake Killer! Black Snake Killer! Where is my Black Snake Killer? Woo! Can I welcome to the stage? Is she ready? Are you ready, Tammy? Tanya, excuse me. You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? Welcome, Miss Tanya the Black Snake Killer!
Boozhoo, 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 Black Snake Killers! It's a pleasure and an honor to be down here in St. Paul in front of the Capitol. That's my house. That's my house. I've been told all along that this is my house down here, and I'm here to remind them that Line 3 is a non-essential pipeline coming through that territory. I'm on day 34 of a hunger strike. I feel good. I'm here, I'm up, I'm walking and talking with y'all, and it's a true blessing to be here with you. Up there in northern Minnesota, up in Palisade, I'm over at the Welcome Water Protector Center. And I welcome all of you to come over there and join me in a participation of soup, coffee, tea, whatever beverage that we have, and we do have plenty of food up there to indulge your taste senses over there. And you could probably eat for me while I'm on this hunger strike. It's been a rough last 7 years. I put my faith in the process, and the process has told me that they lie. They lie, they lie, and they lie. Enbridge lies. They tell you that it's a replacement pipeline. It is not a replacement pipeline. In some areas it may be, but it's a whole new route for Enbridge. When they put that new route in, it opens them up to 4 more new routes. And I've seen what they've mapped out already. And it's disheartening to know that you see their advertisements on the radio, you see their advertisements on the TV, you can see it on the internet, but that's all part of their brainwashing to let you know that they are safe. They are not safe. Last month we had last month we went over to Grand Rapids, Minnesota to recognize an anniversary of their spill up there. 1.7 million gallons of oil had spilled in the waters. Some of the wild rice beds up there are being affected by that. Some of the wild rice beds have been a little bit disrupted, and it almost looks like white rice. Now, we got the mining industry also involved too, and the pipeline carrier, Enbridge, and the mining companies, they're pointing fingers at each other, who did it? Who did it? Who put the poison in the water? But you know what? They're both at fault. And right now I'm fighting against this, taking a stand against Line 3 over in northern Minnesota. And that's my backyard. I'm over on the eastern edge of the 1855 treaty territory. My sister Winona, she's on the west side of the 1855 treaty territory. And there's a lot of pipeline to cover. 330 miles worth of pipeline to cover up in that way. So I believe there's 5 different camps that are set up. So whichever one that you feel inclined to visit, by all means, go and visit them. I encourage you to get a hold of President Biden. He was able to cancel the KXL. Hell yeah! Cancel that. Make sure that it stays canceled for in perpetuity. That's what the language that the Enbridge wants to put in the documents that they have over there to keep things running for in perpetuity. Well, I suggest President Biden cancel all these pipelines for in perpetuity. Up there in Aiken County, I have 5 charges against me. Everything from being at trying to stop a critical infrastructure pipeline coming through, all the way down to being at a unlawful assembly, and participating at an unlawful assembly, harassment charges, and public nuisance. Why? Because I was hollering them and calling them rapists, murderers, killers of Mother Earth. Rapists, murderers, killers of Mother Earth. Because that's what they are. That's what they're doing. And I also see them as being a so-called drug dealer because they're putting a heroin pipeline through Mother Earth's skin. It seems like people are dependent on that heroin of oil to get them through the days. I've been challenging the state of Minnesota to do something right. Why don't we turn Minnesota into a fossil fuel addiction treatment center? On Mother's Day, May 9th, it's called May Day, May Day for Mother Earth. And we're going to be having a flotilla of boats coming down the Mississippi River to protect Mother Earth, to show that we love her. These are not going to be motorized boats, these are going to be people-powered boats. If we take a look at addiction treatment centers, they rack up a lot of money per person for just a short amount of time. Why can't we do that for the state of Minnesota? Get back to riding your bikes, skateboards, paddleboarding, canoeing, kayaking, maybe we wouldn't have so much health issues happening. Diabetes, cancers, those kinds of things that affect our lives because we're so dependent on the fossil fuels, So I figure, why don't we do something like that as a fossil fuel addiction treatment center? And we're taking that first step on Mother's Day, a Mayday call for Mother Earth, to be able to bring her back. If you look at the pandemic of what happened, people stayed home. There wasn't much cars running around out there, right? And if we noticed that the air quality went up, people started being able to breathe better, and get back to the basics of life. We're not asking you to shut off everything because we know that everything, cut down on the cars, start riding horses again, and to be able to go buy a horse and buggy or oxen and cart, because, this is something that we've been so disconnected from, being able to be along with each other, to be able to partake and give each other a hug and say, God, I just love you for being here, and there's that disconnection that Christopher Columbus back in the day, through the papal bulls tried to take over on these lands. But you know what? I tell law enforcement and the DNR that they have no jurisdiction. They have no jurisdiction over in our treaty territories, all across these lands. They have no jurisdiction. And that was the other thing that pissed off the law enforcement and DNR and Enbridge, because they know that I'm right. They kept telling me that I'm making things up. How can I make things up when we have our oral histories to be able to back my shit up, So, I just want you all, whoever's listening out there and who is ever being a keyboard warrior, get a hold of Biden's ear. Let him know every day that we do not need line 3. I'm thankful for the youth that had showed up here, They are seeing us fight for their futures. And to have them understand that they matter, because they do matter, and our future generations matter, because they're the ones that we are fighting for. I'm not going to be here for very much longer, I may have a good maybe 20 years left, maybe, but those are my hopes, my dreams, is for our future generations to have the same playground as I did, to be able to run freely through the woods without wondering if they're going to fall through a pipeline and get contaminated in that way. Because if you look over at the tar sands, oil pits, a bird flies in and swims in the water, they come out and they die right away. If you ever see that movie Deepwater Horizon, remember when that gusher went up like that and those pelicans went flying through there and some of them couldn't even make it past the oil rig, and they kept dropping to the ground and dying. That's something I do not want to see that our future generations encounter. I was out at Standing Rock for 9 months, and I seen what they did to our people out there. And here in Minnesota, they are using that same playbook that Morton County has. One thing that they didn't realize is that we have 330 miles of pipeline that we can cover. I called Keith Ellison's office and I tried to talk to him personally, but he was on a different mission. He was worried about the Chauvin trial here. And I asked him, I said, what is it going to take to shut this pipeline down? And apparently he has put in a request to be able to, put a stop to it or something like that. But then, it was kind of disheartening to hear that, I said, what is it going to take? Is it going to take for a civil unrest to happen? And his office members told me, yes, that's what's going to have to happen. But you know what? In my eyes, in my books, I was over at the Public Utilities Commission meetings and hearings and all those things, And when they gave them that permit, I told them, you have just declared war on the Ojibwe. But for the past 500 years, that war never ended. They put us on these so-called reservations. I look at them as a prisoner of war camps. I have a pretty blue card with my prisoner of war number on it. But you know what? Not too long ago, back in December, January, one of the pipeline workers went through the gate, a guardrail up there. and he went down a 40-foot embankment. And we were the first ones on site to go down there to ask if he was okay, see if he was all right. He goes, yeah. He had a southern drawl. Yeah, I'm okay, I'm all right. Said, are you from here? No. Or, yes, I'm from here, but he had a deep southern drawl. So when we looked at him and were able to get a light on him, he had a black eye and there was blood coming out and stuff like that. And we stayed with him and so that, when the paramedics arrived and that, to make sure that he was okay. So by the time that they got there, it was like about 40 minutes later when the ambulance finally arrived to check him out. But when they were waiting for that, they were starting to pull his stuff out of that pickup, the work truck that he had. He had his regular clothes, his work tools, and everything like that. But then they waited for a minute or two. And what they pulled out was a rifle out of the back of his truck. In its case, but it was unzipped. Those are the things that we are looking at when we are up over in Palisade and up along that 330-mile stretch of pipeline up there. They are armed, and they will do anything to protect themselves from us protecting the waters. That is so sad, because we're protecting the waters for them also. So I just want to say miigwech to you all for coming out here tonight and being my favorite black snake killers. Miigwech, bisambawiye.
Hello, bonjour, bienvenue à l'émission de Conference Call pour Jim Market and International. Makwan and Rabbi Jabal. Just wanted to just get up here and say a little bit, made my way over here, try to be in support of my sister and all the relatives, different organizations, everybody, whatever, how we doing it, it's like somebody took this time, sacrificed this time to come over here and stand up for the land, the air, the water, the people. And just wanted to come over here and be that way my own self, come over here and do something good, I made my way to the city here this week, try to be that way, try to, show them, because, the way we are up north, where I'm from, little town, little village, Sawyer, whatever you name, the way we are, it's real nice, real calm like that, and just kind of everyday living out in the woods. And that's kind of people I surround myself with. My sister, she does the same thing. She just lives 20 miles down the road. But then, nevertheless, we have to put up with this oil, this pipeline. We put it in many years back. When we were children. But here now we're kind of looking at it and understand exactly what's going on. Then we can see what it's doing. People are already going missing and taking off with these people, and they're dangerous because they're away from their families, they're away from their home with a whole bunch of money. The drugs is running up and down, and they're moving around. When they do their drug test, it just happen to be the guys that do the drugs end up getting moved that day. They know when they're coming. So things like that, and it's all happening up and down there, and we can see it. I live not even a half mile away from where this pipeline goes, right on the other side of the lake, right on the edge. My cousins and different ones are over there at that camp too, there's camps all over, up and down. There's people that are out there sacrificing, doing that. So whenever you see a water protector out there, just let them know, thank you, what you're doing. Because they stopped everything. Some people sold their homes, got rid of their cars just to get here and do that, stand up for the water, And then, I myself, my sister, we've been going all the way since standing up. We were there when there was just a little bit of people, 30, 40 families, and just local people, and then people started showing up, and we prayed with all of them, and we put everything, pretty soon we had to send our sacred items home. And pretty soon, we got caught up in that, trying to stop everything, and trying to fix this world. And it turned out it woke up the world, pretty soon we got to meet people from all over the world. So I want to say thank you to all the water protectors and everything, what they're doing, what y'all doing and supporting. It's really something, because it is really dangerous up there. You get followed and you don't think it's nothing. You're just barely getting in here. And this is where it all happens. And then they're the ones that make all the rules. guess who they're working for? The government. And this whole pipeline is part of the United States infrastructure, and they're the ones that make all the rules. So it's really, really something for to have all the people stand up. So I just want to stand up and say thank you to each and every one of you for being that way. And it's really, really good, real good and encouraging. My friends invited me to, come help them here, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll try and help out a little bit, That's what I am, I take care of, I'm trying to do everything I can to take care of my wife, my children, my grandchildren, That's what I'm supposed to be doing, all my grandpa's stuff, and all my husband's stuff, all my children, being a father, I take a lot of time and put it into stopping this pipeline and show my children that, somebody's got to do that. Let my children go do what they need to do and, go stand up, put every effort I can to help my friends, my relatives, to go a little bit further, whatever it is. I move up and down all these different camps and try to support them and make sure that they're okay. And I know how far, kind of get to your mind and, smudge, pray with them, and do those kind of things. Try to get that, something positive over there. Talk to them about, good things. Ask them, what are you grateful for, brother, sister? Like that. Try to get it going that way, in a good way. Put the Creator God first, like that. However you believe. Then here, I believe that, this whole creation is in harmony, and can go without us. And all this corporations and all this square world ruining it. Yeah, I like to wake up in the morning and circle world, like that. Surround myself with sober people, kind people, loving people, those kind of things. That's what I like to do. That's the way I like it. My children, they grow up, and people that come over and pray with them and talk to them about the Creator and the ways and God's ways, Creator's ways, like that. So I don't want to say too much, but this is really something. I can feel it in my heart. All the people come over here. Thank you very much. And you guys all hang in there, be strong. You see, you can take a step further too, whatever it is. Find some protectors and help them do what they need to do. If you can't make it, support them, help them, talk to them, say something good to them. So I don't say about that much. This time I'm gonna go ahead and get back to my everyday life and
Black Snake Killers! Woo! Those are two powerful speakers. I love it. So, I was told about, about a year ago from Miss Nancy Bolio. She's one of my mentors. I love Nancy. Hey Nancy! Love you! Anyways, I was told by Nancy that, Joe, you're too old to be a youngin' anymore. It's like, oh, that's stroking me in the heart. Too old. And then she said, but you're too young to be an elder. And I was like, well, Nancy, but what am I? What am I? Too old? She said, Joe, you're a helper. You're part of this generation. What is the seventh generation? Bridge version? Almost like the apocalyptic end of the world type of stories, mythology. In the Anishinaabe, we have the seventh generation, the Black Snake. And seventh generation Canal is when we take over our world.